Yeah, yeah. But that's a ways away.
Yeah, yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, summer maybe.
Oh, somebody's good.
Okay, we're not quite ready to begin, but it is Tuesday. I didn't make it. It's Tuesday the 29th of December, and we are getting ready for a yoga flow class. So bear with me here, and if you're at home getting set up, I don't plan on using anything special. Don't plan on using strap or anything. But if you like to sit up on blankets, get yourself a blanket and start to be comfortable. Anybody's out there? Oh, somebody's out there. Good. I'm hoping you can hear. Everything is okay sound-wise. Can't seem to get this thing straight, but other than that, all right. So get comfortable. Sit however feels good. If you're at home, feel free, by all means, to sit up on blankets, blocks, anything that feels good for you to be comfortable in your hips. Let yourself just real easily now start to lengthen up through the top of your head. Whether you're cross-legged or you have yourself with your legs stretched out or sitting another way, it's fine. Just lengthen upward. Feel that sense of length in the back of your neck and your throat so that you're not lifting your chin up, but you're also not really dropping it down. You have that sense of ease in the back of your throat. And then just breathe. Feel your breath coming in and going out through your nose. Gradually allowing your breath to quiet down and let your inhales and exhales start to become a little closer to the same length. If it helps you to count when you breathe in, think of reaching that same count when you breathe out. On your next exhale, let your chin come down now towards your chest, letting the head come forward, only as far as feels good, where you feel a release there in your upper back. And then we'll inhale the head on back up. And let's tilt our head to the right ear towards your right shoulder. Let your left arm come out beside you, just a little bit hand off the floor here. Flex your hand. Feel a little more release there through the side of your neck. And then roll the head back down into center. We're going to just roll the left ear towards the left shoulder. Release the right arm out a little bit. Again, up a little bit off the floor with your hand and flex it. And just breathe. And on the next inhale, we'll come all the way back upright. And now we're going to start to circle our torsos with our breath. So letting yourself start to move with that long back. Exhaling as you come forward. Inhaling as you come back. So that you're shifting forward to one side, so you're more on one sitting bone, and then back into the other sitting bone. And just take your time. Let it feel good. Doesn't matter how big these circles are. And we're going to reverse direction. So you stop wherever feels good for you and just start to move off into the other direction with those circles. Good, and the next time you come forward with your circle, see if you can stay there into a seated forward bend. It doesn't matter how deeply forward you go. You can have your hands to support you there. You can walk further out or further forward if that feels good for you. Take your time. Let your back feel okay. Whether you feel like allowing your head to hang or not is up to you. Now if you can, flex your feet. Feel the outside edges of your feet pressing down into the floor if you're cross-legged. And then we'll come up enough. We're going to walk over towards our left thigh. Let yourself extend your torso out over to the left here. And then we'll come back through center and go over to the right. And then we'll make our way back into center again. One more breath. Let your face soften. And then we'll walk ourselves all the way back up to sitting. And let's let our hands come on out beside us, fingertips lightly touching the floor. And we'll inhale both arms all the way out and up overhead. And exhale our hands down together in front of our hearts. And then we'll reverse and inhale the hands up through the midline. And on the exhale, open the arms on back out and down. And we're going to switch the cross of our legs if we're cross-legged. You can stretch your legs out in between if you need to. Take your time. Bringing the other leg in front. And of course, remember, if your hips feel iffy, you can put blocks underneath your knees here to give you some support. And then from here, sitting up tall again. This time, let's see if we can look up a little bit. So let your chin rise up, letting yourself release there. And then come on back to look center again. And let's tilt our head to the right. Let your left arm float up again, maybe a little bit higher this time, flexing your hand. And this time come back up to center and just tilt your head the other way, letting your right hand come up and again, flexing that hand. And then coming back upright. And again, starting to circle here with your torso. So keeping nice and long, letting your exhalations bring you forward. And then your inhalations are what shift you back. And we'll stop and go the other direction. So when you're ready, letting yourself just reverse those circles. Again, the next time you come forward, let yourself stay there. And again, hands can be on the floor. You can walk farther out with your hands. You can let yourself release your head if that feels good to you. Whatever your back accepts, really. And breathe into the back ribs here. And we're going to come up enough to walk over towards our left thigh again. And this time, once you get over to your left, bring your left hand back onto the floor so you can open up into a side stretch with your right arm coming overhead here now. So coming into side stretch, breathing into that side. And then we'll come on back down towards the thigh. We're going to walk back through center and go over towards the right thigh. Take a breath here. And then let your right hand come onto the floor a little beside you here and open up into that side stretch here. Good. And then we'll come on back towards the thigh and we're going to walk on back into center. One more breath here. And then we'll slowly make our way on up. And let's bring our knees up, and then stretch your legs out into not a wide angle, but just a little wide angle there. And move your feet around a little bit. Let yourself circle a bit both ways. You might even flip-flop your legs a little bit. And then come into flexing through the feet. Feel your heels on the floor and just come a little bit forward here. So now you're coming in more into the inner thighs, the backs of your legs. Kind of imagine you've got your inner thighs and your outer thighs pinned down towards the ground. So just opening up a little bit here. Wake up the legs. Good. One more breath. And then we'll come on back up. Let's bring our legs forward here now and let yourself really enjoy. Kind of send your inner thighs down. Let yourself find your staff pose, hands down towards the ground. We'll just do easy little twists. Take an inhale. On the exhale, twisting to your right. Just let yourself come around. Now once you get there, inhale into the length of your spine. And as you exhale, just reverse around to the other direction in that twist. We're going to do that a few times with your breath. You'll inhale into the length in your twist, and the exhale will carry you to the other side. So moving with your own breath at your own speed here. Just wake up the spine a little bit. Let it feel really easy, very natural movement. And the next time that you exhale, let yourself just come on back to stop at center. Good. Sitting up nice and tall here. And let's come on around towards our hands and knees. So you know, if you don't want to be on your knees, grab yourself a blanket. And take time. If your wrists are bothering you, you know, coming onto fists is fine. Coming to your forearms is fine. Your time. Once you get on into where you've got your hands placed right and your knees, just shift your hips a little bit side to side, just a little bit. Kind of let your head hang a bit. Look back a little bit behind yourself. And then come on back to look straight down between your hands here. And now stretch your right leg back long behind you on the floor. Curl your toes under, press into your heel, really feel your calf. And then really feel equal through your hands here. Think about your inner elbows facing each other. And lift your left knee up off the floor. Press into the top of the left toes. And then we'll bring the knee back down. And we're going to bring the right knee back under us and stretch the left leg back long. Flex through the foot. Really enjoy here, feeling equal through your hands. And then see about bringing your hips up and your right knee up. Press into the top of your right toes. And then we'll come back down with the knee, both knees down. And let's move through our cat-cows easily here now with your own breath. Take your time. If you need to stop in either pose, do it. So that it feels really good. Like you're flowing through your back very easily. And very naturally. Good. Finish off the one you're on. Come on back to more neutral spine. And now let's bring our big toes together, and we're going to come back into child's pose here. So as you do, you know, how far you go is up to you. Big toes together, knees apart. If you need to stay somewhat forward onto your forearms, do. Let your arms be soft. You can, if you feel better, to bring your arms back down alongside your legs with your palms up, do that. If it feels better to keep them overhead, do. And breathe into your low back. Good. And we're going to make our way all the way back up to all fours and step our left foot forward. Now keep your right knee down. You might want your blocks, you might not. Let yourself start to shift forward with your hips. So you can have that support under your hands. Now you can be any height you want. Highest height of the blocks, middle, lowest, hands on the floor, it doesn't matter. Press into the top of the right toes. Let yourself really enjoy opening up through the front of that right hip. And we're going to come on back with that left knee, and we're just going to switch to bring the right foot forward. So again, as you shift your hips forward, it is up to you how far you go, how high up you come with your body. Stay more forward if you need to. Pressing into the top of the left toes. Good. And let's bring that right knee back and step the left foot forward again. And this time, curl your right toes under and lift that back knee up and find your lunge. So take your time. Get your feet, remember, a little bit apart like you're on those narrow railroad tracks. Enjoy. Press the feet a little away from each other. Engage your low belly. And now let's straighten the left knee out. Let your right heel just descend directly back behind your foot. So you get a little more into the back of the legs, obviously, both legs, but and then we'll bend that left knee and come into our lunge again. And we're going to switch. So how you decide to switch, whether you step forward or back, is up to you. Finding that lunge here now. Feel the feet, again, pressing gently away from each other. Good. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. And then come into that straighter right knee. And again, letting the left heel descend. Just make sure you're not rolling on that right foot. You can always lift your toes up if that helps you, so you can really find the four corners of your right foot there on the floor. And then we'll come back into bending the front knee, coming into lunge. And let's step forward, finding our standing forward bend. Feet hips distance apart and parallel. And if you need support, use it. Remember, elbows above the knees can give you a lot of support for your low back. Hands on the blocks or releasing the hands down to wherever you're comfortable. And then just breathe. Let yourself be with your breath. Let your head move around a little bit if you can. So you can find that release through your neck. Your face relaxes. Your jaw. Let go of your jaw. Good. One more breath. And then we're going to bring our hands to our hips and bend our knees, rise on up to standing, and inhale our arms all the way out and up overhead. And on our exhale, let our hands come down together in front of our hearts, coming into mountain pose. So spread your fingers. Actually, you can bring your gaze down to your hands for a second. Really spread your fingers wide. Feel each finger connected there, and your thumbs, whatever parts of your palms touch. And then for a second, turn your fingertips down towards the floor and press gently so you feel your wrists there engaging. And then bring the thumbs back in towards the breastbone so that you have them right back where you're comfortable. And then start to bring your gaze forward, coming on into looking out, whether your eyes are opened or closed, out towards the horizon. Feeling open across your chest, your upper back. Imagine you're pressing the floor away from you with your feet equally, but your thighs are lifting upward. And your tailbone is dropping down towards between your heels. And then we'll unfold our arms on down beside us. We're going to inhale both arms all the way out and up overhead. And on our exhale, bend our knees and come on forward into our standing forward bend. Let your next inhale help you find a flat back, wherever you want your hands to go, your shins, the floor, but keep your head, if you can, in line with your spine. Try not to bring your chin forward, just to give a relief to your neck there. And then we'll step the right foot back and come into lunge. And inhale. Exhale into finding your downward facing dog pose. So whatever you need to do, right? Walk if you need to, Wag your tail around, take a peek at your hands if that helps you. Make sure you're equal in your hands. You don't want one hand to turn out more than the other. In fact, getting your pointer fingers fairly parallel to each other is usually pretty comfortable, hugging your elbows towards each other. And then just breathe. Let your dog come into your whole body here. Feeling the backs of the legs opening up, the length of your spine. Good. Next inhale, we're going to come out to plank. So nice and strong. Imagine you're pressing the floor equally away from you with your hands, and your inner thighs are reaching up towards the ceiling and the belly's engaged. And then we're going to lower down. You can put your knees down first or come through a full push-up. Elbows right by the ribs. And from here, come to your fingertips. Keep your forehead on the floor for a second. You're on the tips of your thumbs and fingers. Hug your elbows in towards each other. And then as you inhale, rise your head and maybe your chest up a little bit. Feel the belly engage.